so Monarch, new show on Apple. I've never been a huge fan of the MonsterVerse or Godzilla. My kids are, so I have watched all these movies. But yeah, this I watched the first 2 episodes. They've dropped 3 already on Apple, but we're only going to talk about the first 2.
Did they put out the first 2 together?
Yes, they did. And now it drops every Tuesday. So tonight we'll just talk about 1 and 2. Next week we'll talk about 3 and 4, and then we'll be all caught up to talk about it on Tuesdays. But so it's basically, I'll just give sort of the premises of this series.
There's big fuck off dinosaurs.
yeah, exactly. Well, it does. So basically, there's 2 kind of storylines. One taking place in 2015 and one in 1952, I believe it is. The one in 2015 is we meet Kate, who was a survivor from 2014 Godzilla attack in San Francisco. There was a scene on the Golden Gate Bridge where she was in one of the buses with children and she survives it. And she has what's it called? PTSD, right. But in this, she starts off by going, her father has died or disappeared, and so she's on her way back to Japan to take care of his stuff, and she realizes that he actually had a double life, and there's a whole
father
other family.
Is a legend.
Dun dun dun.
Father has a whole other family that she didn't know about.
What a man.
And then it jumps back to the 5th, and again it kind of all revolves around this organization called Monarch, which has been around in all the movies, I believe. But I think the 1950 storyline is sort of the beginning of Monarch, the organization, which basically does research on these monsters. She I liked the very beginning of the episode 1 where he brought John Goodman back.
Yeah,
because he was in Skull Island,
yeah.
right? So, and I'd really like. There's a lot actually I like so far about this show. I think people so far in the first 2 episodes are saying, okay, there's not enough monsters. This is a monster, this is, where's Godzilla? Where's this? But actually, I'm enjoying the characters. I'm enjoying the storylines. I actually think the transitions between the 2 timelines are pretty seamless when we jump back and forth. Like I'm not confused about anything.
Yeah.
I think
it's not a lot of like over explaining either. It's just like, it's done. The direction and the editing is really well, because it's not like you have a date and time up every time, and it's not like there's like a huge difference visually, but they portray that very well.
They do a lot of the simple kind of stuff, like when the son is holding a picture of Lee Shaw, who's played by I think again the casting of the father-son thing is really smart with Kurt Russell and his son Wyatt.
His son,
instead of doing de-aging, let's just hire his son. So it's the simple
brilliant,
like she holds a
brilliant
shows a picture of him, and then we cut back to him, so it's the storyline there. I'm actually kind of more interested in that 1950s story than the present story, just to kind of see how that, because that is also John Goodman's character, the other guy, the 3 of them together, discovering stuff. I really like, and you can tell by the title sequence at the beginning, this whole mirror effect, right? Like everything's mirrored.
In the intro and stuff.
In the intro, but if you actually watch the first episode, there's a lot of mirror stuff in that episode as well.
Yeah.
Like they show a shot of a street in Japan, and on the left side everything's in Japanese, and on the right it's in English.
Yeah.
And there's in the 3 of them back in the 50s, they always have the 2 guys on the side and her in the middle.
Yeah.
So they do a lot of cool sort of effects there. So I just like the mystery of it too so far. Again, why did the father need to have 2 families? Is he really dead? In the second episode, when we finally see Kurt Russell, he is been it's almost like he's in prison. He's been, he's not allowed out of this. They go track him down, the 2 kids and his friend, and they finally meet him at the end and they escape, but he's sort of got the same thing that the Avengers had on their ankles when they're on home arrest. So I'm wondering what's going on with that. So there is monsters so far. We see Godzilla in a flashback, and then we see those little
Oh, the eggs.
The eggs
Yeah.
that attack the who ends up being the grandmother as well, and so you're not sure what happens to her. And then there's this sort of dragon at the end that's really creepy when they're walking around. First of all, I really like that when they find. Obviously, we're spoiling everything here, but they find that boat which was in Pearl Harbor. But now it's like in the middle of in the jungle, and they find all these dead people there, and they've got like like that some sort of secretion on them or something, and this is where this dragon sort of lives or nests or something.
Was the dragon, was that Rodan or was that the Gita whatever?
No, they're saying it's something new.
Oh, okay.
And I think that's what this show is going to do. It's going to bring back obviously Godzilla at some point, and I think Rodan or something like that. But they're also going to introduce a bunch of new sort of monsters, and I'm sure it's going to happen where there's going to be some big monster battles.
Oh yeah.
But I don't know. So far, I'm really liking the stories and the characters, and yeah. So, what are your guys' thoughts?
Well, I like the original Godzilla movie. I thought it was pretty good. I like the continuation rather than breaking off a new Godzilla storyline.
Yes.
Because we've had a lot of. There's even, what was it? Let me look it up. A couple of years ago, or last year, they released another Godzilla movie, but it was a Japanese one.
Yeah, the Japanese one that was Godzilla 0 Hour.
That's about minus one.
Minus one.
That's about to be released. It's coming out.
Oh,
yeah, because I remember we watched
the trailer
here fairly recently.
Yeah, and it looked good.
Yeah,
but it's just when you get something re-released without any continuity, constantly, then you get a bit over it. So it's nice that you do have that continuation. In episode 1, I'm just quickly finding out the part again. Where was it? When the government was drilling a hole through the earth and they discovered the radiation levels dropping to 0. I believe that's also in the original. No, sorry, not the original. The 2014 Godzilla movie.
Okay.
They also had that, not the same scene, but that was the same event that occurred, and they showed it on screen.
Yeah, it's ridiculous how much cohesion there is between. Like, going through this, I was just like, I forgot how much depth and lore there is to these kaiju and these stories and stuff. And then because of the so many flashbacks and stuff, I'm just like, oh yeah, that movie was a thing. Oh shit, I'm right, I forgot about that one. And then it's like, man, I gotta look more into this because there's so much going on. But it's not overwhelming, and they're doing a good, especially with the going back and forth between the two timelines, making it pretty easy to get back into it and go like, oh right, they're a thing. Oh okay, yeah. So
it's the little simple things like in episode 2 when he meets the doctor and he's just assuming it's going to be a man.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
He's like, are you his daughter?
His daughter.
Yeah. It's just little things like that that I'm liking so far.
Yeah. What do you think, Alvin?
I thought the cinematography was awesome.
Yeah.
It's like watching a movie.
Yeah.
Every episode is like watching a movie. This show is really good, but then there's some things I don't like about it either. There's some things that drive me nuts. There are 2 characters that drive me nuts. Actually, maybe 3. There's 3. That May character in the future,
the hacker.
Yeah, she is annoying. She's always rolling her eyeballs around, arms folded, pouty, complaining. She's like, why am I even here? Blah blah blah. You decide. No one forced you to go with them. Like, so why are you saying that line?
You answered the Craigslist ad. You showed up.
And then that dude, his I guess they were an item before that because they hinted that in the beginning. This dude looks like he's about to crap his pants every 5 seconds. Like, everyone had that moment where they're rushing to the washroom because they're nursing a gophering situation, and that dude looks like 24/7. That dude looks like he's just about to crap his pants.
Yeah,
he's just got this weird expression all the time. There it is. Thank you.
There's a button for it too.
And then the other character in this one is in the past. It's that Kiko, the girl, the woman, because the doctor, should I say, because she keeps telling everybody she meets, I'm a doctor. Thanks for clearing that.
Because she has to. Yeah, it's the 50s. She has to.
Even
you
though,
might,
like, yeah, right.
yeah, but they showed that, Elvin. It's the whole reason, because he didn't even believe she was a doctor, because it's the 50s and women weren't doctors. So that's the reason she has to do it. Plus, she's Asian. So
I would rather, if I was in that situation, I'd be like, who cares what you think? I know who I am. That's all I care about. And that's just a small thing about the other stuff that she does in the show. I have no issues with that. You can see her, like, I watched episode 3. You guys haven't watched episode 3, and in that episode, that was her best episode. And so I don't have a huge problem with her. Like, for me, if I had to pick which storyline I like more, I'm gonna go with the past one.
yeah, that's
It's
what
more
I said.
compelling to me. There's more mystery to it.
Yeah.
I don't think the future one was really necessary, especially episode 3. Episode 3 really showed which one you should go and watch more of or pay attention to more. There's a separation gap happening here, and that's not good for the show. Like, I could care less what happens with the future group versus the past one. So I'm hoping that that's not the case. I hope somehow in the we still have, how many episodes there's to, like,
there's 10 in total.
10 episodes, right?
Yeah.
So we're 3 down, 7 more to go. Long ways to go, not even halfway. I'm hoping in the latter half of this season, the future group kind of gets back into being really important and really good and hammering out these awesome episodes. Because right now, my full interest is in the past.
So would it just be then you still get some of the back flashbacks, but then just 17 different kaiju show up and just start wrecking the world, and then you're like, okay, I care about the future now. Everything's on fire.
I'll say one more thing. Having watched episode 3, and that's the last time I'll say anything about it because I don't want to ruin it for you guys. Having watched episode 3, I am more optimistic about the future gang, but I'm still like, hey, give me the past.
Yeah.
Explain what's going on. Awesome. You're killing it in the past. And then, like I said, this Kiko, I'm assuming that's her name.
Yeah.
She actually brought her A game as acting, but I want to stop hearing about her. She's a doctor with everybody. Maybe not even, like, I wish they don't, like, in the future episode, I hope they don't talk more of her introducing herself. Just get to the point. Like, she doesn't need to tell everybody. I understand what you're saying, Chris. I get it, of the 50s and, you know, the sexism and all that stuff. I just, for writing purposes and just making her character even, I think, better, just don't even put that part in there. Cut that scene out. Like, I hope they don't add more of those scenes in there. It takes away from her because it makes her feel like she's, you know, bitchy and all that stuff, but she's not. She's not, but it just comes out that way. And I just hope they just really focus on the 3 of them in the past, because the 3 of them, I think, are magic in the past together.
Right.
Kurt Russell's Wyatt Russell is awesome, by the way. We've seen it with Silo, where there's a slow burn, but it does ramp up really quickly.
Yeah.
And I'm hoping next episode for you guys is that way. And then the 4th episode, I hope it's just like, keep going.
Well, I have seen people online saying, you know, where's the monsters and this and that. So, and I get it, you know,
but it's not called Godzilla. It's called Monarch, which is about the company that.
Yeah.
I think that's, people are just like, people love Godzilla. It's such a massive character, and I get it, but
literally,
like
and figuratively,
it's not Godzilla, it's Monarch, and we've had a ton of Godzilla movies in the last 10 years. Maybe we should give it some background of what's going on, and maybe that will make the whole story even better.
Isn't that the whole point of any movie, is to actually, you know, build it up so you like characters and like stories, and then makes, you know, action more impactful.
I'm excited to get this as a season. Like, when I saw the trailer for the first time a while back, I thought this was just a movie, right? I'm like, this is a movie because it looked good in the trailer. And then when I found out it was a TV show, I'm like, awesome, cool. Give me extra hours of, because I don't know the depth of huge Godzilla fans. I know Godzilla, King Kong, and some of the other monsters, but not the full blown, like, you know, 30 monsters as some people can run off right on the top of their head. But I hope, I hope more seasons come. I don't know what the ratings are for the show yet. I will look into it. But yeah, I honestly, I enjoyed the first 2 episodes.
So what do you give the episode? What's your scores? Episodes, I guess.
I'm going to give them both 9s.
Yeah.
because I'm liking it so far. Again, I like the mystery of it.
Yep.
And I agree with Elvin that I like the backstory more than but I am still interested in what's going to happen with Kate and her new stepbrother.
Yeah.
And the whole there's the whole, I guess it's the people that work for Monarch right now chasing them down.
Yeah.
To find out what's on those tapes or whatever.
Oh yeah, that's right.
And then also the son in episode 2 found like an old film canister.
Yeah.
So he hasn't been able to see what's on that yet.
How long are the episodes?
They're like an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They don't feel that they don't drag very often.
No, it's pretty fast paced.
Yeah. Pacing's really good on it.
Yeah. Again, jumping back and forth between the storylines. So yeah, I'd give them both 9s for sure.
Yeah.
What about you guys?
Are we tying them both together? I guess
I think so,
it's
probably,
easier to do that.
You can, or you can do it separate. Doesn't matter.
Yeah, probably like a 8. Like I'm interested, and it's still consistent with pretty much everything that Apple's been putting out as far as like the good stuff that we've been watching. So I'm keen on living more in the kaiju universe.
I think I'll go split the difference. I'll do 8.5. This is something though I think I'd prefer to. I know it's probably not something you'd want to binge a lot of.
Yeah,
but I think maybe watching. I don't know, how long's the whole season?
10 episodes.
10. Wow. Okay. I was thinking maybe.
Are you complaining?
No. I was thinking like I don't know.
There's too much content.
I want 6 episodes, 30 minutes each.
Yeah.
Sometimes
like
28 and a half
at most. Watching 3 episodes, so it's binging it over a week.
Yeah.
But it's not watching the whole thing in one go. That's how I would prefer to watch this. But 8.5, good. Elvin, you got it earlier. Cinematography is good.
Mm-hmm.
I like that it's a continuation of an actual story from the movies.
Yeah.
8.5.
You guys all gave your scores?
Yeah.
Yep.
Okay. I'm going to give it an 8. It's a solid show.
Yep.
Solid show.
Did you see at the very beginning? I don't know if it's in the credits or not, but there's actually a picture of Sasquatch, of Bigfoot.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
He's a mini kaiju.
You better show up.
I don't know if it's in the credits or not, but there is a quick picture of like Bigfoot, and it's like, so he exists in this world.
Well,
it'd be great.
Loch Ness Monster 2 is also one.
Yeah.
Actually massive. They've killed millions of people.
But you think about it, it'd be hilarious if they had Bigfoot at the end and you just have Godzilla step on him.
Oh no.
Weird. We all agree. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
Well, I think Apple's the only thing that's made us agree on stuff.
Yeah. Like Silo.
It's funny how good things, good shows, we all agree on. It's funny how that works.
What about Andor?
I just said good shows.
Well, yeah. You should add Apple good shows to that.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah, I think you're right, Justin. Like most of the Apple shows that we've watched, or we kind of had similar scores.
Mm-hmm.
The world is on fire.